Before we get into today's video, make sure you smash that like button, share this video everywhere, comment below with your thoughts, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Today, we're going inside the Hill County Commissioner's Court where citizens raised serious concerns about solar farm fires, dangerous battery energy storage systems, massive data center developments, unanswered public records requests, and what they believe is a complete lack of transparency from county leadership. We're also going to address the controversial appointment of Martin Dudik as the new Precinct 3 Commissioner, the good old boy political process behind that selection, potential conflicts involving industrial development, and my demand that the county consider a stronger, ironclad moratorium before these projects permanently change our rural communities. The people of Hill County are asking questions, but are our elected officials actually listening? Or are they protecting developers, political insiders, and backroom deals? Let's get into it.
BZ Watchdog News Network.
You'll have 5 minutes. You can open forum. Yes, there. Mr. Blah.
Yeah, just a quick question. I don't see the county attorney here about the aircraft identification lights on the new wind turbines.
I talked to those about 2 months ago, and they can't be operational until they get all of them in. So there'll be a blinking light in the meantime, but once everything goes online, that will be online too.
So they're not finished putting up all the turbines? Is that?
No, you're right to the country and see still laying on the ground. So
Okay.
you're probably a month to 6 weeks away.
Okay. I noticed that they weren't all in sequence, flashing in sequence.
No, they're independent lights just up
Yes.
there.
That's what I've noticed, that they are flashing somewhat independently or out of sequence with one another. So it'll be perhaps another 2-3 months.
I think about 6 weeks from last time I talked to you.
Okay, thank you.
The wind is giving a hard time. They can't put those up when the wind's blowing pretty high.
I do know that Mr. Holmes did send an email to those folks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Ms. Hoffner? And Ms. Hoffner, Mr. Zangari said that he signed up online and conceded his time.
Okay, no, my husband did, but okay.
Oh, was it here?
Yeah, he was my husband. Yeah.
Okay,
Maybe,
I did not concede my time.
sorry, I misunderstood. Go ahead, Ms. Hoffner.
Okay, I'm gonna start off. I didn't type everything up. There was a fire last weekend in Blum at the solar farm. I know there was a week prior to one in Itasca. And when I commented on a Facebook post for the emergency services district, not remember which emergency management, they said, well, there were no best at the facility of one in Itasca. Well, there's best at the facility of the one in Blum. So that's a problem. Because my neighbor and her husband and a neighbor got out there to help with the fire. They should, you know what I mean? And that's right behind their house. And that's terrifying. There's no federal inspection of these places as far as the operation of the batteries. Yeah, OSHA comes in and makes sure the workers are safe, but not all suppression systems are created equal. You can read about them. They're not. If those batteries fail thermal runaway testing, not all suppression systems are equipped to handle that. And that is a very real danger. No feds are testing these batteries. The state has given you the authority to test these. I don't care. I'm not talking about even a data center right now. There are current dangers in this county that are not being addressed. Okay, my neighbors live next to these places. There's no way they'd be able to let their cattle graze on that land because of the stuff that would seep into the air and into the ground. They may not have a home. We have no idea. You may lose people. They would die. Okay, these first responders, they're not equipped to do any of that. Again, the plan is there is no plan. That's not a plan. That's failure. That's failure of the government to be prepared. It should not be reactionary. It shouldn't. I heard I think there was a comment made that I don't want to quote because I didn't go back and look for it, but I know it was said because I went home and talked to my husband about it, that you basically made a point of like, well, we can't pick out a business just because they're a data center. And he brought up the point, well, if it was a strip club that was coming in next door, I bet y'all be trying a little bit harder. All of you. You'd be trying. Okay. Sure, there's some more regulations on stuff like that. But if it was a strip club, everybody'd have a problem with that. Right? Okay. And this letter thing. I don't think I have any intention of sending it. I don't. Because when I emailed Jim, I asked, I said, is there a legal holdup with this? Is there something that would, is there a legal issue? He said, not as far as he knows. And then you said you're waiting for the county attorney to sign off on it. We're waiting. I would like a reason why this wouldn't work. But I haven't been shown one. And that's frustrating. And again, I'm going to ask you if you think that I'm not being truthful up here or I'm being misleading, then to approach me about it. Because when other citizens I don't even know leave conversations with the idea that I was being untruthful, that's defamation. And when you're saying that about other people and encouraging them not to speak to certain people or do business with them, that's defamation. Okay, I only get a certain amount of time up here. You're entitled to your opinion and I'm entitled to mine. But you haven't given me any factual evidence of something that I was incorrect about. And that's a problem. Okay, you said these projects, and I quote, are going away from best systems at the fire marshal workshop. Okay, you've told other people, Pacifico Energy's told you they aren't going to use BESS and that you don't believe them. So which is it? Do you believe they're going away from BESS or do you not? Because you said one thing up here and then one-on-one with other people said others. And in their formal notice that they said they will have BESS. I mean, it's on paper. So no, you shouldn't believe them. But then I don't know why you're going to get up here and say, oh, they're going away from it. It's not a big deal. Well, it doesn't matter if it's a data center at this point because they're already in the county at the green energy places. We got to take care of that first. And you're still not doing it. You say we're doing it. It takes time. It's been long enough. I gave you something that was written out by an attorney himself and has not been sued for it. I mean, I don't know what else to say to that. I'm honestly just like, my mouth is on the floor, flabbergasted. Like, I can't figure this out. And you know what? That's exactly why people think you've signed something. I don't know. I don't know if you have, but that's exactly why. And the fact that you're unwilling to get up in front of a crowd of people and discuss and answer questions openly, that's a problem. That's not transparency. And then you say, well, I can't do it on Facebook because people would just argue. Make a newsletter, a monthly newsletter. And not just about this, about just things that are going on. It doesn't have to be in great detail. People can sign up their email if they want to, then it's on them to go check. Like, there are ways to do this. It's minimum. Like, the government should not be doing the minimum required. It shouldn't. And when it comes to the person that y'all are wanting to put in precinct 3, I don't know them. I know there's other issues that y'all take care of daily. I know this does not consume all of your time, but my issue with that is that the person's name is on an actual solar project. So I just have questions about, is that person going to do what they are obligated to do for the county, or are they going to operate in the best interests of them and their family? And I just have concerns about that. So, I mean, you've been given the tools and you say it takes time, but people don't believe you. I want to believe you. People want to believe you. But like, I know nobody else here seems to be really trying to do anything. I know Jim does. I don't talk to them, but there are public records requests that have not been responded to by other people on this court. The IT department has not responded to my request. They are past days. I've sent my complaint to the AG. The AG has responded to the complaint that I sent for my original request because you did not submit an exclusion properly. Like, so y'all are in violation of things. All I have to do is get an attorney to get up here and get that stuff. So I'm giving y'all the opportunity to do what's right. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Miss Linda Polly?
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Thank you for the opportunity. I would like to address the situation that under the Open Records Act has come to our attention. I'll take you back to on March 10th when you sat back here and after the meeting and you wanted to have transparency with us. And we asked you about any projects that were coming to Hill County as far as data centers were concerned. Best of our recollection, what you said is the only thing you knew about was the Hubbard Nexus Center, data center. And under the Open Records Act, it's quite apparent that the Provident data center, or whatever you want to call it, that's projected out here on 81, on July the 8th, you and Mr. Holmes were attending of a meeting at the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. And then on July 30th of 25, there was a Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation meeting. And it was held at Johns Manville, 858 Johns Manville Drive in Hillsborough, Texas. And ironically, John Manville manufactures ceiling tiles for data centers. And so this has already raised questions. And then we go and we start find other additional information. And we find a little tidbit here from contract for EDC lands adjacent to Y35 Holdings. And it happens to be that Y35 Holdings is a management under the name of Gwen. And so within this, the email states, "Good morning, Jessica." This is from Brian Glaser at Glaser Retail Partners. It says, "As discussed before, my understanding is that you also are acquiring adjacent lands, and to the extent you do that, I would ask that we create a provision for incorporating those adjacent lands into your contract. We can let the lawyers figure it out, that completed part, should you get approval from your board." And so, with that being said, the map here shows Hillsborough EDC. We already know Encore's bought their little portion over here, which there's emails from Win-Or talking about Encore, and then going out and talking to the adjacent landowners and getting them to go with the program. So by that indication, it is just what we said in May. This wasn't about this 298 acres. This was going to be a whole lot more. So then we find the Provident document. We were told over and over again by Megan Henderson that this was one building. It's 12. It's a little bit different than one. So when we're talking full transparency here, it is to the point there are very few people in this county that are even believing that that's factual. So at the end of the day, there's either truth or lies. There is no in between. There's either right or wrong. There's no in between. There's either light or dark. There is no in between. We keep coming to this court. We keep asking you to protect us. And yet, you guys, everyone that's been in this battle does not feel you have any intentions of hiring a fire marshal. You have no intentions of addressing the best. So, Mr. Holmes, since you contacted Herbert Windmill 2 in regards to the flickering lights, have you contacted them about the battery energy storage system that's supposed to be over there on Jimmy Lehman's land? Over there across from Pecan Creek? That's the greatest issue that we've got right now, people, is these battery energy storage systems. And it's just like Olivia said, y'all are still doing nothing to address this. Nothing. And we don't understand why. We have no understanding why you are doing this. We have no understanding why this court isn't addressing the AirJoule situation at Nexus. Okay, at Nexus. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Now, Mr. Zangari.
I'm here. Let me
reset that. Huh?
Yep, let me turn my speaker down. Just let me know when you're ready. All right, so I did send you guys an email over the weekend regarding a ironclad moratorium that was based on Van Zant and built on a little bit more ironcladness. I hope you guys actually put that on the agenda as requested. I've sent it to you guys and your county attorney. So I'm putting that out there publicly. So if you ignore it, we really know how you feel about the county and the citizens in it. So I want to go ahead and start off first. Let me go ahead and congratulations to Martin Dudik on being appointed commissioner of Precinct 3. Congratulations, Martin. You've officially won the Hill County political lottery, the kind where you do not have to knock on doors, collect signatures, earn the voters' trust, or survive an election before getting the title. Apparently, all you need is the right people whispering your name in the right back rooms. I wish I could be there in person, but unlike some people in this courthouse, I have to work, campaign, collect signatures, and earn this position from the voters of Precinct 3. And let us be honest about what this looks like. Hill County appears to be replacing one insider with another hand-picked insider, someone selected through the same good old boy system that keeps trying to stack the deck, control the process, and protect itself from actual public accountability. Martin, the people deserve to know whether you were selected because you will independently represent Precinct 3 or because Will Orr and the Republican establishment believe you will follow orders, stay quiet, and vote exactly how they expect you to vote. The public also deserves direct answers about your reported financial interest involving wind and solar development on your property. If you personally benefited from industrial development, why should rural landowners believe you will stand against massive data centers, transmission projects, or other developments that threaten their property, water, roads, and quality of life? Are you going to represent the landowners of Precinct 3 or sell them out whenever the right developer arrives with the right deal? And Martin, I'm hearing you quit your job at Aquila ISD yesterday. If that report is accurate, I hope you kept your resume updated, because after November 3rd, you may be looking for another job when I defeat you as an independent candidate. Of course, that assumes we have a fair, transparent, and lawful election. I will be watching Will Orr, Elections Administrator Ada Motherspaugh, and every official involved in this process. I will document irregularities, demand records, challenge misconduct with evidence, and make sure the public sees exactly how this election is handled. I'm not part of your club. I was not handpicked. I do not owe favors to political bosses, developers, donors, or courthouse insiders. I will not enter office with strings attached and a list of people expecting repayment. I will grind this campaign out one voter, one signature, and one conversation at a time. I'm running to serve the people, not to serve Will Orr, not to serve the Republican establishment, and not to serve developers looking to turn rural Hill County into an industrial zone. I'm running to protect property rights, defend taxpayers, expose corruption, enforce transparency, and fight these massive data centers before they permanently change our county. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said, the time is always right to do what is right. Well, the time is right now. If you are tired of appointments made behind closed doors, tired of the good old boy network, and tired of politicians serving themselves instead of the public, then register to vote, show up at the polls, and vote on November 3rd. Vote Basil Zangari, BZ Watchdog, for Hill County Commissioner Precinct 3, because public office is a public trust, and I intend to earn that trust and not inherit. And Judge Brazel, I do really think that you should get with David Holmes and really look at that moratorium that my legal team wrote, because that's nowhere near what you guys fumbled when you guys gave $100,000, and now I'm hearing RCM pulled out. We'll know that on August 27th for sure. But it sounds like you guys gave them a quick payday so they can bounce over some prime real estate that we still have another developer I'm having to fight there. So you guys can either work for the citizens or we can just go ahead and remove you, either with Chapter 87 for official misconduct, or we can just vote you out at the next election. I have no problem fighting you guys. I have a platform, I have a voice, and the people are starting to get behind me. What you guys don't have is the transparency or the trust anymore. You guys have lost it. You guys have shown your guys' ass, and yeah, it is what it is, and I will see you guys at the next Commissioner's Court. Thank you.
Are you tired of massive data centers being pushed into rural communities, threatening our land, our water, our power supply, and the quality of life generations of Hill County families have worked to build? Are you tired of the same good old boy network, the same insiders, the same backroom deals while ordinary residents are ignored? Are you tired of living in fear that your own government may target or retaliate against you simply because you asked questions, demanded records, or spoke out? Then it is time for something different. Basil BZ Watchdog Zangari is running for Hill County Commissioner, Precinct 3, as an independent candidate. He is not controlled by the Republican Party, he is not controlled by the Democratic Party, and he cannot be bought by political insiders, wealthy developers, or the good old boy establishment. BZ Watchdog opposes placing massive data centers in rural communities where families, farmers, ranchers, and property owners are forced to suffer the consequences. He opposes backroom deals, selective enforcement, political favoritism, and government officials benefiting while the residents' quality of life continues to decline. BZ has already faced resistance and attempts to undermine his independent campaign. So ask yourself this question: why are they so afraid of BZ Watchdog being on the ballot? Maybe it's because he asks the questions they do not want answered. Maybe it's because he exposes what they want kept behind closed doors. Maybe it's because they know he will fight to restore law, order, transparency, and accountability to Hill County government. BZ Watchdog is prepared to fight for your property rights, your constitutional rights, and the future of Hill County. But he cannot do it alone. Are you willing to join the fight against destructive rural data centers, against backroom deals, against retaliation, corruption, and government operating in darkness? Help Basil BZ Watchdog Zangari get on the ballot. Stand with an independent candidate who answers to the residents, not the political party. Basil BZ Watchdog Zangari for Hill County Commissioner, Precinct 3. Restore accountability. Protect rural Hill County. Give the government back to the people. Join the fight. Help BZ get on the ballot. Sunlight is the best disinfectant. This message was approved and paid for by Basil Zangari. Commissioner! BZ Watchdog Commissioner. BZ Watchdog Commissioner. BZ Watchdog Commissioner.
Tyranny, corruption, extortion. Sunlight is the best disinfectant.
BZ Watchdog News Network.